slow to medium. And I start on the outside and I would work around, and then I get the middle and I do the middle around. It's kind of like making a milkshake. You really want it to move. Okay, and then you pull the drill out, you spin it off so that all the excess comes off, and then this bucket right here, all the buckets in the center are water, so they wash off your tools. So then you, whoops, see? Don't go fast like I just did, whoops. Okay, then I put the lid back on, and then I can mix a new one if I want to. The white's over here, so I'm moving over here now. Spin off all the excess water, move the lid, come into the white. White. Slow to medium. About 20 to 30 seconds. All the way around. Spin it off. Put it in the water. It's clean. All right. So now it's time to glaze. So which glaze do I do first?
The blue.
Void blue. Okay, cool. So, if I want to do this mug like half and half, I can do half void blue, half white, and you do want to make sure it overlaps a little bit. So, there's only a couple times I want you to handle your mug with the handle even after it's been fired. Right now, when I'm dip glazing, I can use it, okay, for a short time. Please don't handle your mugs even after they've been fired by the handle until they've been glazed, because the glaze makes it even stronger, okay? And you don't know how well you did with your score and slip, okay? And then all of a sudden you're holding a handle and there's no mug anymore because it just shattered all over the floor. It's not good.
Oops.
It's happened. It's happened.
I'm sure it has.
Okay, so I'm going to dip this in. How long?
1 second.
1 second. 1001. Okay, and I'm going to dip it kind of at an angle.
Do you have to?
So I'm going to dip it. And this bucket's a little on the low side, so I'm going to tip it just slightly, and I'm going to go in 1001, pull it out. And then I shake it off. And because I did it at an angle, it doesn't have an air bubble trapped in it. If you go like this, and you put your mug in there like that, no glaze is getting on the inside of this because it's got a big air bubble. Okay? So you have to do what I call a J hook. So when you get it into the glaze, you go like that and make a J. That way it goes in, and then when you pull it back out, you're pouring it out, okay? Mine, because I did it at an angle and I want white in there where it is and where on the handle, it's not trapping air because of the way I'm doing this, okay? So then if you accidentally get glaze on your hands, like I said, it's not toxic. It's not gonna hurt you. You can just rinse your hand in the bucket, okay? I would encourage you guys to put aprons on just in case. And then you'll notice that it's already dry, okay? It dries in like 20 seconds. Because, like I said, the clay is porous. It sucks all the water out of the glaze into the pot. And now I'm ready to handle this right here where it's dry. And then I'm going to do the same thing, dip it at an angle like this, and it's going to overlap the blue right there, and I'm going to go 1001. So here we go. 1001. Pull it out, pour out the excess that was inside the mug, and it's drying. Okay, so this is the beads of glaze on the wax that I was talking about. So while I'm waiting for this to dry right here, I'm going to go ahead and wipe that off, because it's a lot easier to dry or wash off the glaze, the beads of glaze, while it's still kind of wet. Okay, and then you're going to put this in front of the fan and let it dry up before you start doing any sprinkles on it or try to handle it from the white side. So I'm going to let that dry up. And I want my plate to kind of match my mug so that it's kind of a set. Okay? If I do it differently, it's not a set. I don't know. You guys you don't have to match them. I'm not saying that's required. But if you want to have a matching cup, bowl, and plate, do them all the same. Okay? So I'm going to do the same thing. Blue first. Second. So 1001. Here we go. 1001. Pull it out. Shake it off. Kind of tip it so that some of the glaze that was stuck inside where the foot is. Okay? So that's drying. I'm still handling it by the side that I haven't glazed yet. While I'm waiting for it to dry, you can kind of see it drying, like all the dark blue areas are going away. I'm wiping off those beads of glaze from the wax. So now, since I waited about 15-20 seconds, it's ready to handle the blue side. So right there you can tell that it's still kind of wet because it's dark. There was an extra drip right there, so you want to not handle it right there. All right, so then 1001 here with the white, 1001, pull it out, shake it off, pour all the excess out from inside the foot. Okay, it's starting to dry. Didn't quite make that one as angled as I had hoped, but that's okay. So I'm wiping off the beads of glaze off the foot. Okay, and then I'm going to set this in front of the fan and let it dry. Now, over here is a turkey baster. And if I want to do some little cool splashes like you saw on my plate over there, first of all, always get it into the water and rinse it out a couple times in the water. I'd like to think that the last person that used this washed it, but they might not have. Then you suck up some white in this turkey baster, and then you just kind of do a couple little splatters on it, okay? Drips. And then get the rest out, wash it out a couple times.
Is that the water?
And then I'm going to do the same thing with the blue over here. Okay. Rinse this out. I check to make sure that the bottom doesn't have any beads of glaze on it. There is a few, so I'm going to wipe those off. I come over here to this cart, set it right here, and that is done being glazed. Okay? That fast. Several seconds, a couple minutes of mixing, thinking about your colors. You're done with your dip glazing, and that's 3 projects: plate, bowl, mug. Okay? Did I double dip the entire thing?
No.
No, I didn't double dip. Okay? If I see it, if it looks like he did it, I'm going to be like, sorry. Got to wash it in the sink. Got to wait for a day because it needs to dry after you do that, and then you're going to try again. Okay? And I know what things look like. I've been doing this for many years. So if you accidentally drop your thing in the bucket, you have to wash it. So you'll be in there for 4 or 5 seconds until you scoop it out with your hand. There is this other technique where you can use these tongs for dipping. I'm not going to actually dip this. This is emerald and sea gold, if you like this combination. You do sea gold, which is right here, which is kind of this light green, and emerald is kind of like this jade, and that's right here. Okay? So you can hold your projects with these tongs, that's what these are called, and then you do the J-hook process, and you dip it into the glaze. You go 1001, pull it out, shake it off, and you dip the whole thing in one color. And then you just take the turkey baster and do it right along the lip, and it kind of starts to drip down, and that way you don't have any excess on your cup. Because you can see how much these flow, but it didn't flow and stick to the kiln shelf, so that's good, okay? All right, are there any questions about dip glazing? Who gets to dip glaze today? Only people that are done with everything. They've made it and it's done. Now you can turn it on.